Have you ever stopped to truly think about your breathing? This incredible automatic process that sustains us from our very first moment to our last. We take, on average, over 20,000 breaths a day. That's over 20,000 times our chest rises and falls, our lungs expand and contract, pulling in the life-giving oxygen from the air around us. It's the silent rhythm of our existence, the background music to our lives, something we do mostly without a second thought. We breathe when we sleep, when we work, when we laugh with friends. It's so fundamental that we often take it for granted. We simply expect it to just happen. But what happens when that rhythm is disrupted? What happens when each breath, instead of being an effortless gift, becomes a conscious, deliberate struggle? For a growing number of people, that simple, beautiful act of inhaling and exhaling is no longer easy. The ease is replaced by effort, the calm by anxiety. It can feel like you're trying to draw a thick milkshake through a narrow coffee stirrer. That constant resistance, that terrifying feeling of never quite getting enough air. This constant battle is utterly exhausting. It doesn't just leave you physically tired, it drains you emotionally, leaving you anxious, irritable, and unable to enjoy life to the fullest. The fear of breathlessness can make you withdraw from activities you once loved, leading to social isolation and a diminished world. And here's a critical point. This isn't just something that happens to older people or lifelong smokers. While age and smoking are significant factors, breathing challenges are affecting more and more of us at every stage of life. Young adults, middle-aged parents, even children are experiencing issues, driven by a modern world filled with new challenges to our respiratory health. But here is where the story shifts. Here is where hope and empowerment enter the picture. The good news, the truly wonderful news, is that we are not powerless. We have far more influence over our lung health than we might have been led to believe. Our bodies are incredibly resilient, constantly working to repair and protect themselves. Our role is to give them the right tools to do that job effectively. And one of the most powerful tools at our disposal is something we engage with multiple times every single day: eating. The connection between what we put on our plate and how well we breathe is not just a vague idea. It is an incredibly strong, scientifically backed reality. The food we eat can either fuel the fire of inflammation and damage in our airways, or it can provide a powerful internal defense system that soothes, protects, and strengthens our lungs from the inside out. To understand this, let's take a quick look inside. Our lungs are magnificent, complex organs. They aren't just empty bags that fill with air. They are an intricate, tree-like network of branching airways. These airways are lined with tiny, hair-like structures called cilia, which are constantly sweeping mucus and trapped debris upwards and out, acting as a self-cleaning escalator. At the very end of these branches are millions of tiny, delicate air sacs called alveoli. It's here, across a membrane thinner than a single human hair, that the miracle of gas exchange happens. Life-giving oxygen passes into our bloodstream, and metabolic waste, carbon dioxide, is released. These delicate structures work tirelessly, 24/7, to power every single cell in our body. But their delicate nature also makes them vulnerable. They need the right fuel to stay strong, flexible, and resilient against daily attacks. Think of it like a high-performance car engine. You own this incredible machine, capable of amazing things. You wouldn't dream of putting dirty, low-quality fuel clogged with sludge and impurities into its tank and expect it to run smoothly, would you? Of course not. It would sputter, lose power, and eventually break down. Our bodies, and especially our exquisitely designed lungs, are no different. When we consistently consume dirty fuel, highly processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats, we create a state of chronic inflammation and oxidative stress throughout our body. This directly harms the delicate tissues of our lungs, damages the cilia, thickens mucus, and makes them more susceptible to damage and less efficient. Conversely, they thrive on good, wholesome nutrition. Clean fuel, foods packed with vitamins, minerals, and powerful plant compounds called antioxidants, protects them from this damage, soothes inflammation, and keeps them working at their absolute best. So, in this video, I want to take you on a journey of discovery. A journey to reclaim your breath and revitalize your health using the profound power of food. First, We're going to take an honest look at the modern world and explore exactly why so many of us are facing these breathing challenges. We'll unpack the environmental and lifestyle factors that put our lungs under constant siege. Then, and this is the exciting part, we will dive deep into the specific, amazing foods that can make a real, tangible difference. We won't just list them. We'll explore the science behind they work. We'll talk about antioxidants like vitamin C and flavonoids that act like bodyguards for your lung cells. We'll discuss anti-inflammatory powerhouses like omega-3 fatty acids that can help soothe irritated airways. We're going to arm you with knowledge so you understand not just to eat, but it works. And let me be very clear. This is not about restrictive diets, complicated recipes, or expensive, hard-to-find ingredients. This is about empowerment through simplicity. It's about making small, consistent, and delicious additions to the meals you already enjoy. It's about adding color, flavor, and powerful protection to your plate, one simple choice at a time. Before we dive into the specifics, if you believe in the power of food as medicine and find this information valuable, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell. It's a small action that makes a huge difference. Your support doesn't just help the channel, it helps us build a community of people dedicated to taking control of their health. It allows us to continue creating well-researched, practical content that empowers you to live a healthier, happier life without breaking the bank. Together, we can learn how to transform simple, everyday choices into a powerful foundation for our long-term well-being. All right, let's begin. To truly appreciate the solution, we first need to understand the problem. Why are our lungs, these resilient organs, under so much pressure in the modern world? It's what I call the modern assault on our lungs, and it comes from three main fronts. First, there's the environmental front. We live in a world our ancestors wouldn't recognize. Our lungs are constantly filtering pollutants from car exhaust, industrial emissions, and wildfire smoke. But the threat isn't just outdoors. Inside our own homes, we can be exposed to airborne irritants from harsh cleaning products, artificial fragrances, dust mites, and even mold. Over time, this constant bombardment can irritate the lining of our airways, triggering inflammation and reducing our lung capacity. Second is the dietary front. The modern Western diet, heavy in processed foods, refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats, is a major contributor to systemic, low-grade inflammation. This isn't the acute inflammation you see with a cut or sprain. It's a chronic, simmering fire inside our bodies. And this fire directly impacts our lungs. It can worsen conditions like asthma and COPD and make us more vulnerable to respiratory infections. We've traded nutrient-dense whole foods for convenience, and our lungs are paying the price. And third, there's the lifestyle front. Many of us lead increasingly sedentary lives, sitting at desks for hours on end. This leads to shallow breathing patterns and a decrease in our vital lung capacity, the maximum amount of air we can exhale. Furthermore, we're living with unprecedented levels of chronic stress. When we're stressed, our bodies release cortisol, our breathing becomes rapid and shallow, and our immune system is suppressed. This trifecta, environmental toxins, inflammatory foods, and a stressful sedentary lifestyle, creates a perfect storm that compromises our respiratory health. But don't feel discouraged. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them. Because for every one of these challenges, there is a powerful nutritional strategy we can use to fight back. We can arm our bodies with the antioxidants needed to neutralize pollutants. We can choose foods that extinguish the fires of inflammation. We can nourish our bodies to better cope with stress. It's time to fight back with the incredible healing power of nutrition. Let's begin this journey to better breathing.